Hey everyone, welcome back. Very windy right now, and I haven't shown you all of our property on our homestead, so I'm going to show you some of the views from our property. So right from our main homestead where our house is, you've got miles of mountain views. A little cloudy, overcast today, the wind's going, but I'll show you the other areas. There's some snowmobile trails, ATV trails right on our property. And Waffles, well, he might want to go with us. I think we're going to take the car today because it's a bit chilly. So we own 54 acres on our homestead, and I'm wearing orange today because yes, it is still hunting season up here. So just in case we run into any unexpected hunters, just want to make sure that I'm identified. Behind me, we've got a gorgeous view. So our driveway isn't super close to the road. You can see it from the main road, but it sits up high enough where you don't really have to worry about traffic or people. It's pretty quiet around here. I don't usually take my car up our property trail, but today I am, just because the wind is really going and it is a bit chilly. So it's a little off-roading. Now, I wish my husband and I had an ATV because this is a fun trail to ride on with an ATV or even a snowmobile. And wow, it's really overgrown here, but and of course my car's got all kinds of fancy sensors on it, so plowing through. This part is kind of fun to go on, but it does go up higher, so even though we have a gorgeous view of the mountains, the higher you go up on our property, you actually get a better view of the mountains from the top. You can see here, we're starting to see more of the mountains. It is a little off-roading up here. Hey Waffles, what you think? Like coming up here? Yeah? So you can see we've got an even better view of the mountains way up on top. So now we're on foot, but we're still on our property. We're just way above where our homestead is. And I'm going to show you something that's really cool and unique on our property. And I wanted to come up here before it snows. It's got a little snow up here, but there's a little history to our property I haven't really talked about, and it's pretty unique. But this is one of my favorite things about this is we have trails that we can just hike on, and it's all private. Right, Waffles? I guess I could have came up a little further with the car, but I didn't want to risk it, so. But got some snow. What'd you think? Come on, Waffles. Gotta go a little higher up. Just cruising around here, you wouldn't necessarily know that this feature is here on our property unless you own it. A few people know about it, but you have to go in the woods a little bit, and I'll show you what it is. It's right over there, through the woods. Ready, Waffles? All right. Where'd you go? Come on, Waffles. Have to truck through the woods. It's actually not as bad because all the leaves are off the tree, so it's a little easier to navigate through. So here we are at the top of our homestead. Now this structure is very unique, a little Vermont history. So if you guys know who Joseph Smith is, who started the Mormon religion, well, his paternal grandparents owned our property. And this stone chair actually used to be an altar that was at this property. And you can see a little Christmas tree. This altar was converted into a stone chair, but this was the original site where a stone altar was. And it has been here for many, many different generations. And yes, it was converted to a stone chair. And little tip, this is where my husband actually proposed to me, right on our homestead, was in this very spot. Alright guys, I brought the tripod because we do have some growth of trees here, but hopefully you guys can see the mountain view from the top of our property. And the view up here is so much better than the view down by the house. And this was another spot my husband was debating putting a house, because really, if you put your house right here, you almost get 360-degree view of the mountains. And this is another spot we were debating putting an Airbnb, even a tree house, because this is a very cool location. You can actually see a raven over there in the distance. So it is kind of an awesome hidden little gem within our homestead. And we've got a couple Christmas trees growing, which makes me excited because I really like the smell of pine trees and Christmas fir. I don't know, maybe I'm weird, but it is very peaceful out here. Like I said, if you don't know this land or you didn't grow up in this area, you would have no clue that even exists on our property. So our property does extend up here a little bit further, but it is nice that there is drivable access. Yes, you can bring your car up here, even though I stopped a little bit further. But you would have no clue that was up there. Sometimes it's just nice to go on the hiking trails, right, Waffles? See what's out here. Sometimes you see deer up this way. Come on, Waffles. Let's go this way. We'll head back towards the car. But it's just quiet and peaceful. That's something I've always enjoyed, and kind of why I like being off-grid, because yes, I'm an introvert. My husband's an introvert. What are you doing, Waffles? And we like it quiet. And to have access to all these hiking trails, you get gorgeous views of the mountains. And if you snowshoe, that's kind of fun. You just hop on a pair of snowshoes. People go snowmobiling. That's a little out of my budget. Like I said, I really would like an ATV, because this would be a really fun ATV trail to go on. But you can bring your car. So I know some people are into jeeping. I have an all-wheel drive vehicle because we live on a mountain. But you could go jeeping up here too. What you doing, Waffles? And it's actually not bad today. It is around 39 degrees, and that's warm. We're near the end of November. And like I said, it's forecasted to snow in a couple of days. But yeah, this is all part of our homestead, and our house may be on about 2.5 acres that we've cleared, but like I said, we've got 54 acres and a ton of woods up here, and lots of possibilities. We put an Airbnb up here. You can make like a little hip camp as well. Look at these trees. Look at that tree. I know it's random, just kind of bent over like that. Got a couple of them like that. Sometimes I see porcupines up here too. I've seen a black bear up here. They usually are pretty harmless. What, Waffles? Like the view? Isn't that view gorgeous? And my husband and I, we need to come up here soon. Now that all the leaves are off the trees, if we take a chainsaw and clear some of this, you actually get a much better view up here. But living off grid, having a homestead, I like being out in nature, and coming up here, just seeing the miles and miles of mountains behind us, it is just breathtaking. And there's actually a couple ski resorts you can see right from the top of the highest point on our property. So thought I'd take you on a tour and show you that there is more to our homestead than just the 2.5 acres that we have cleared. There's basically a whole nother world up higher. Just made a very sharp 3-point turn. Oh, I should have to make sure I got the all-wheel drive going. What you think, Waffles? It is steep, but it is gorgeous up here. And yes, you can take a vehicle with you. You just have to be very, very cautious when you come down. As you can see, it is a gorgeous mountain view. A little bit of a steep incline. Not too bad though. You can actually see some of the, off in the distance there, that's actually our neighbor's farm. And our house is actually right down the hill right there. So, not too far up. Well, yeah, you're higher in altitude, but the homestead is just right down the hill. Like I said, ideally, you take an ATV up here, but you actually can get a truck up here. I've been up here when we used to have our truck. We used to bring our truck up here, but and our all-wheel drive vehicle up. But this is another view, and you could have built the homestead way up on the hill, and this could have been our driveway. And that definitely is a possibility. And it is sad that we are in the process of going to be selling our homestead, but you know, if we stayed here longer, that would have made a perfect spot. This area right over here is another area. I believe there actually is there used to be a house here way back in the day. And this area is pretty flat here, but again, you still get that awesome view of the mountains. So, you know, maybe you want to have multiple buildings on the property. That's another plus. I've always enjoyed this little area. You could open it up to be a field. It wouldn't take too much to clear it. Oh, Waffles. Tour of the homestead. Off-road style. And we are descending down our mountain. Oh, sorry, Waffle. This is a real pretty area too. Like I said, in the foliage, this is absolutely gorgeous because I don't have to go anywhere special to see peak foliage. You just walk up our property and you get peak foliage view of the mountains. Now we're back on the main road and it's literally, you just drive around the corner and you are back on our homestead. But you can see my studio right there and the main house from the road. What do you think, Waffles? You like taking them on a tour? Huh? Such a good boy. Oh, and you can see we actually have a sap bucket on one of our trees there. But yeah, that's all part of our homestead too. We actually have a garden over there. We planted 100 strawberries. And we have blueberry bushes on our property as well. And people, when they first see our homestead, you know, from the main road, you have no idea that this view even exists. And even coming up here, you're like, oh, you get a little peek of it. And I remember the first time my husband took me to his house, he had me follow him, and I thought, who is this creepy guy bringing me in the middle of the woods? I just barely met him. And once I came around this corner, my jaw dropped. I mean, the view is incredible. Now, my studio wasn't there 5 years ago, but it is now. And this is the view that we have, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's absolutely gorgeous from the top of the hill too. All right, Waffles, let's put her in park. I hope you enjoyed the view of our homestead and could appreciate how beautiful the mountains can be and why we've enjoyed living up in the mountains, because that view is absolutely gorgeous, right, Waffles? Even Waffles likes it. So for us, it is incredibly hard to give this up because we love this view, but there are things that we want to do in life, and right, Waffles? And moving to another state, well, we've lived in Vermont our entire lives, and eventually we were thinking retirement to move, but we're figuring, hey, life is too short. Let's do the things we want to do and see if we can move that up to a little bit sooner. So I hope you enjoyed the mountain view, cruising along the mountain ridge, and let me know in the comments what you thought of the view. Right, Waffles? That is Waffles, our little farm pug. What you think? Huh? Yeah? Say hi to everybody. What? You like going in car rides? All right, guys, enjoy that view one last time. That's what Waffles likes doing. He'll just sit here and stare at the view. And I'll see you in the next one.